Hi everybody! Whoa, it's like been less than 2 weeks and I'm posting another video. No wonder we're gonna get a crazy snowstorm tomorrow. I'm here to make a video because I realized I was thinking, well, a couple reasons, but I was thinking like yesterday or the day before, I'm like, you're not gonna have your filming spot through all of December, so you need to make a video and let people know that in case you don't find an alternative filming spot. And then they'll miss you and they'll think that you left again, and I don't want you guys to think that. So I wanted to let you guys know that. Where I film right now is where our Christmas tree is going. We put it right in front of our dining room window so you can see it from the road. It looks really cool. So we moved the table where I set my camera up into the living room and we put things on it for Christmas. And I'm thinking that I'm gonna try to film in the living room, kind of like set myself up on the couch and put my camera on my coffee table. That's the word I'm thinking of. Because I have a tripod now and I can make it bigger, make the tripod bigger, taller I mean, and I should be able to film in there, but I don't think the lighting's going to be great, so I might make a couple videos that don't require great lighting, like maybe not cross-stitch videos, maybe other kinds of videos, but we'll see. But I did want to get on here and tell you guys that, so if I'm missing from December, like the end of this month through my birthday in January 5th, because that's when we usually take down the Christmas tree, then you know why. It's always been like traditional. I know you guys are like, why do you take it down on your birthday? Well, it's like honestly since I was like a baby. I remember being back then, I'm scratching my leg in case you're wondering what I'm doing. I was like a little baby and I'm like, you gotta leave that tree up till after my birthday. So it's like traditional. I don't remember if my husband puts up with that shit though. I don't think he does. I think he takes it down like January 1st, but so what I wanted to do was show you guys my WIPS. I don't have a lot of WIPS, but my whip it. And when I finished with my Christmas ornaments, and I wanted to do the get to know your stitcher tag because I saw everybody was doing that and I didn't do it yet. And I do have some get to know me tags on my channel, but maybe not everybody who stitches have seen that. So yes, I wanted to say thank you to everybody who subscribed to me, like the new people. Like, I can't believe how much the stitching community has grown. I know that I left and came back, but my goodness, I wanted to tell everybody out there that I'm trying to get subscribed to you guys. So if I haven't subscribed to you, just like say it in the comments. I don't care. I'm not gonna get insulted. Be like, hey, I'm Stitch and I want you to subscribe to me and watch my videos. And I will do my best to get caught up on your videos because I have been trying to do that so hard lately. Like, I'll watch like 1 or 2 or 3 videos a day in between what else I'm doing. So if I haven't gotten to any of your videos yet, I'm sorry, but I'm really trying hard to be like more consistent with watching everybody's videos because I love everybody. You guys are great, and oh my goodness, aren't you enablers? Like, I love watching the haul videos and the work in progress videos. I'm just like, I gotta get that. So now I see what you guys mean. Like, you always tell me, you're an enabler, Emma, and I am, because like for Christmas, I just wanted like some, you know, I get makeup stuff because I like makeup, but and little stuff like that. But now I'm like, I need to get a 1 2 3 Stitch gift card. And my husband's like, what? And I'm like, damn it, because enabled. I'm enabled. Oh, I also wanted to tell you guys because Stitching May asked me if I had an Instagram, and I see a lot of you guys are on Instagram. I feel like I'm leaning, so I'm like, it's because of that. But I am on Instagram, and I wasn't really using my Instagram. I made it a couple months ago for like stitching posts and to post my dogs and stuff like that. And I am on Instagram, and I'm gonna try to use it more often now. So if you want to follow me, my name is Abby Scrappy, one word. It kind of looks like Abby's Crappy, but it's Abby Scrappy. Those are my dogs' names. It's linked in my channel, and I'll link it below. You will have to add me because I'm not. It was public, but I changed it because I thought about it. If I'm going to put it on YouTube, I don't want just anybody adding me, and because I have personal pictures on there, and I don't want just anybody seeing my personal pictures, but you know, if we're friends on here and stitching buddies and other buddies, then just add me if you want to see stuff. So yeah, and if you want me to follow you, I'll follow you too. Usually I follow anybody who follows me. So, last time you saw me, a few weeks ago, I was making the Santa Claus ornaments, and I did finish one of them. I will tell you guys, this took a long time to do. Like, I thought it was going to be so like short, but But it took about 2 weeks for me to finish this, and I did work on it hard. Maybe not 2 weeks, maybe like a whole week, but when I do ornaments, I want them to take like a day or two, because I went and bit off more than I can chew with ornaments this year. I'm doing like 16 of them. That's just how I do it. But I'm crazy. I know a lot of people will do like 1 a month or 2 a month for the whole year, and that's how I probably should start doing it, but I just like to wait till the last minute to do everything and just like, give it to me now, I'll do it now. But I did finish the first Santa, and this is what he looks like, and he's holding a dove. The jig is out on the Santa Clauses as far as my husband goes, because I was at my mother's house stitching. We were at a birthday party. My niece turned 21. Happy birthday, Jolene. I have a 21-year-old niece. Where did my youth go? Anyways, and we were at her birthday party. They had it at my mom's house. And I was stitching. He came up behind me and he saw it, so he knew. And I just told him, and I'm like, yes, I'm gonna make 6 of them. I couldn't just keep my mouth shut. But anyways, I finished this one, and then I decided I was going to work on other ones because this one took so long. And I might get all 6 of them done before Christmas, I don't know. But I'm going to try to concentrate on the smaller ones first, and then the ones that I'm going to give away to people, and then back to these guys. So the next one that I finished is called Peace, and it's from one of the Just Cross Stitch ornament books. I don't remember which one, but I can look it up. I always say I'm going to link things, and I don't, and I apologize. One day I'll go through my videos and actually link them. But, yes, this is what it looks like. It's adorable. I love this one. I love the buttons. I got the buttons at 1, 2, 3 Stitch. And I used beads instead of French knots. We all know the story with that with me, and I think it came out really cute. I just love this one. Okay, so the next one, I actually remembered to get the book out, and it's from the 2010 edition of Just Cross Stitch Ornaments. And it's this one right here, the Snowy Globe one. If you want to do this, it's on page 69. I only worked on this on Sunday and yesterday a little bit. I had time to work on it yesterday, but I kind of burnt out because I was working a lot on ornaments Sunday on that one that I just showed you on this one. But here's the little snowman. He's so cute, isn't he? So I'm hoping I have some time today, not a lot, because I have to get my son from school in a few hours, you know, obviously not soon. But I'm hoping that I can finish this before Thanksgiving. It's Tuesday and Thanksgiving's on Thursday. Wednesday, we're gonna get a lot of snow, and I'm hoping that everybody just keeps it down in here, because people should be home, everybody should be home, there shouldn't be school and work. So I'm hoping everybody just lets me stitch and I can get some things done. Thursday, I will be with my mom helping her with Thanksgiving, so I don't think I'll be stitching. Friday, we'll be getting a tree. It's a tradition, but after Thanksgiving, I hope to just stitch, 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 stitch. Okay, so now I'm going to do that tag. Like I said, whimsidaisical, I think that's how you say it. I did subscribe to you. I know you're subscribed to me. And I did watch some of your videos. I don't think I commented them yet. I will. That's how I do. Sometimes I do YouTube. I'm watching like 3 videos at the same time. I'm ADHD like that. But thank you for making this tag. It was a really good idea, and I'm going to do it now. I have my questions on my phone, and here we go. Okay, the first question is, where do you live? And I live in New Jersey. I live in northern New Jersey. New Jersey is separated usually into 3 parts, north, central, and south. And I live in the north part. I am actually 1 hour away from New York City, but it's really weird to live that close to the city. But actually where I am, we're kind of like redneckish. We're very country folk. We live in the woods. Like I told you before, deer are eating my pumpkins. It's really nice, but at the same time, if you want, you can get in your car and just drive down to the city and go see shows and shop. Not that I do that a lot, because the city kind of scares the crap out of me sometimes. Because when you're from a small town like I am, going into a big city like that, you're like, buildings, but you know, that's where I am. I live about 45 minutes from Pennsylvania, where my sister lives, so you know, I'm right in the middle of New York City, Pennsylvania. The next question, what do you do for a living? I am a stay-at-home wife, mom. I was hurt in a car accident 5 years ago now? 6 years ago? Almost 6 years ago. And after that, I stopped working because I got a very severe spinal injury in my neck. I had to have surgery. It failed. It wasn't good. I think if you follow my channel, you know all about my struggle with that. Right now, sitting here, I'm in excruciating pain, so when I have to sit up like this, I get spasms all down my back. If I have to stand for long periods of time, it's not as bad as sitting for long periods of time, but it is bad. So I don't work anymore. I was an accountant, a junior accountant. Before that, I was a grocery store front-end manager, like, you know, the person who helps the cashiers. And before that, I was a grocery store cake decorator. At first, it was really hard. When I was in my car accident, I was very depressed, but within like the last year or so, since I started really getting my life into order and I got into shape and I lost some weight, I don't necessarily feel physically better as far as my accident goes, but I have a better attitude, I think. And it's helped me embrace my role as wife and mother a lot more, so I kind of like that. And it's okay, you know, not working sucks, but I have a good husband who takes care of me and the family, and I contribute as much as I can around here. The next question is 3 favorite hobbies other than cross stitch. I watercolor paint. I showed you guys that on here. I am pretty new at it, but I kind of found that I have a hidden talent for it, and I take classes for it. I haven't painted in a long time though, because I haven't had the time to actually sit down and do a class. I take classes through an online course called the Paint Box, and I actually paid for a whole series of classes. They weren't too expensive because I was considering going down to the local college and doing them. And they take about 2 hours each, and they want you to actually sit through the whole class, so I need to like find time for that. And usually when I have time for something like that, I'm cross-stitching, I'll admit it. Watercolor painting is something I like to do when the weather's nicer because I can sit up better. So I'll probably be back into that towards the spring more, I think. And when I'm not stitching. Another hobby I have is I like weird stuff, the paranormal. You guys know that from my channel. I have always liked the strange. It's just part of who I am. I'm not necessarily strange. Like, I know a lot of people stereotype people who are into the paranormal, and you see me and you're like, oh, you don't seem like you'd be that kind of person, but I am. Anything that's like fascinatingly strange, I love. Like, I want to know everything about the paranormal and mysteries. And I mean, I don't know if you guys remember, but when I was young, there were those Mysteries of the Unknown books, and my dad bought them, and we would sit there and we would read them. It was my father. He got me into that. He was the paranormal buff in the family, and anytime In Search of who was it, Leonard Nimoy? Is that how you say his name? Spock was on, he'd be like, come on, In Search of's on. And I'm like, yes, UFOs and ghosts and aliens. And that's just who I am, so that's kind of a hobby that I have. I used to like to ghost hunt, but I don't really like to do that anymore. And that's for personal reasons, but I love researching it. I love reading about it and everything like that. It's just me. And then I would say my third favorite hobby other than cross stitch would be collecting Victorian and Edwardian and antique photographs. I love them so much that I started collecting about 3 years ago, and I have probably close to 100 of them now. I'm going to make a video and show you guys some of them one day. I know I said I'd show all of them, but I don't have time. I think it would be like a 4-hour video to show all of them. I mostly like to collect women, children, animals, strange, if you can find strange ones, but they're more rare. So yeah, that's another thing I like to do. That goes kind of along with antiquing, which is another one, but they only asked for 3, so. Number 4 is, do you have any children? And I do. I have one son, and his name is Andrew. He's 13. And I had him very young. I was 20 when I had him, so I'm 33. He was born to me and my first husband. I was actually married very young. I got married when I was 18, right out of high school, which was crazy, and I don't recommend that for anybody unless you're absolutely positively sure that that's the right thing for you. It wasn't the right thing for me. But having my son was the greatest thing I've ever done in life. It was like the biggest accomplishment of my life so far. I get a lot of questions now, especially when I first got married, when are you going to have more kids? Which I think is the rudest thing for anybody to ever ask anybody ever. And I'm so glad, no, I don't think anybody on YouTube ever said that to me. When are you going to have more kids? I see it all the time on other people's videos, like those makeup gurus like Emily Noel before she had her baby. When are you going to have kids? When are you going to have kids? Like, do you know how rude that is? Because you never know if people are trying and they just can't. But I bring that up because I want to have more kids, and we're getting to the point where we're thinking within the next year we're going to have a baby, and we're really hoping that happens. So not right now, but soon, and that's what I really want out of life. We haven't done it before because, as I said about my neck injury, I wanted to make sure it was something I could absolutely do. But I know with a solid support system from my husband and others, if they help out, that it'll be absolutely something that we can do. And I can't wait. I'm like thrilled. I want a baby so bad. Yay, I can't wait. Then I can stitch all those adorable baby things that I see and I just want to stitch. And do you have any pets? And you guys probably know that I have 3 pets. I consider them my children. I have 3 dogs, and their names are Abby, and she's the youngest. She's 4. Is she 4? She's 4 now. She's a miniature Dachshund, and I'll show you a picture of her here. I said it with hesitance because everybody has seen her. I pick her up all the time. She's a miniature Dachshund. She's our 2nd miniature Dachshund. We had one before her who died at 1.5 years old from a liver disease she had. It was tragic and it ripped my heart out, but yeah, Abby's the baby of the family, and she is spoiled, and she is just like, she can get away with murder. She knows it. Nobody will ever do anything to her. She could like just, but she's a good dog. I'm not saying she's not, but she's very spoiled. She's good to the humans, but she's horrible to the other dogs. Like, she'll bite the backs of their legs and she'll take their treats, and she's spoiled. Then I have Scrappy, who is a West Highland White Terrier, and he is 6 years old, and he is a dog that I got because, well, I moved out of my parents' house 6 years ago when I met my husband, and I had a dog there, Tracker, who's an English Springer Spaniel, and I raised him as a puppy, and I'm like, I want to take Tracker with me, and they wouldn't let me. That was their dog, and I was heartbroken. I cried like every night for Tracker. So my husband's like, well, we'll get a puppy. So we got a puppy, and that's my Scrappy, and he's my little boy, and I love him so much. He's a really good dog, but he is a terrier, and if you have terriers, they're very temperamental. Not meaning he's nasty, but if the other dogs get too close to him when he's laying down, he'll be like, arr. He growls a lot. I find, and I don't know that this is about all terriers or all Westies, he is stuck on one person, and that's me. I'm his person. He likes the other people in the family. I'm not saying he's mean to them, but he definitely follows me all around. And he's a good boy. I love Scrappy. Here's a picture of him. And then our oldest fur baby is Clover, and she is a Siberian Husky. Clover came with my husband. It was a package deal when I met him, and she is 7 years old. She was a big handful when I first met my husband because she was young. She was just over 1 year old. And young Siberian Huskies are crazy dogs. They have a lot of energy. Even at 7, she has a ton of energy, that dog. But when she was little, they can be stubborn. They can be just like kids, like almost like having a teenage kid, that I'm not going to listen to you attitude. But she's calmed down a lot, and now she's a big cuddle and mush puppy, and I just, oh, that dog is like, and again, she was my husband's dog when I met him, but now she's totally my dog. Like, she'll just, when we're watching TV at night, I'll be on one end of the couch, my husband will be on the other end, and she'll be stretched in between us, but her head will always be on my lap. Like, She's got these big long deer legs that she just stretches out, and I just love her. She is still a little naughty, I'll admit. If you leave the front door open and you're not careful, like when you're walking in, she'll just dart right past you, and then she'll go down to the neighbor's house and stand in their driveway and say, hey, can I come in? And they'll just be like, what is this dog doing here? I know some people said how they got their names, their dogs. Clover is named Clover. I'll show you a picture of her when she was a puppy. And my husband named her Clover because it looked like she had a clover on her forehead. Abby is named Abby because she's a baby and we want to name her like a child's name. I know, it was crazy at the time. And Scrappy, his first name was Merlin, but like 2 days after we got him, we're just like, that's not a Merlin, that's a Scrappy dog, because he just looks like one. The next question is, what is your favorite movie? And my favorite movie of all time is Gone with the Wind. I saw Gone with the Wind in the movie theaters this past fall, the beginning of fall. For the 75th anniversary, it was like one of the single most thrilling moments of my life. It was just beautiful. It was the first time my husband ever saw that movie, and he was just like, now I know why you love this movie so much. It was just gorgeous. But I have other favorite movies too. Gone with the Wind is just by far my favorite, but there are movies that I consider favorite movies because anytime they're on TV, I can't turn them off. Like there's like some kind of gripping, that's sacrilege if you turn it off kind of belief for me. Like Love Actually, I watched that the other day. It's just so funny and good and just romantic. I also like the 2009 Wuthering Heights with Tom Hardy. That is such a good movie, and Tom Hardy is just, he's just gorgeous, and him as Heathcliff is just, he's the best Heathcliff ever, like, gorgeous. Pride and Prejudice with Colin Firth. Like, how can you not love him? He's Mr. Darcy, and just that one too, that's another one. There's a million of them though, like, I could just, Anne of Green Gables, I think you guys already know that though. Okay, so the next question is, what is your favorite TV show? And like with movies, I have a ton of favorite TV shows. I love Downton Abbey is just my favorite TV show I think that ever came out. I love Downton Abbey so much that I live in America and I've already seen the new season. No, I didn't pirate it illegally. There's a place you can go online and watch it, and you don't have to download anything, and if somebody uploaded it, I didn't do it, so it's not my fault. Don't look at me. Stop looking at me like that. I also love American Horror Story, The Walking Dead. There's a show called Face Off, which does FX makeup, and that's a really good show too, that I always have to watch that one. I think the ones that top it are Downton Abbey and American Horror Story. American Horror Story this season, I find it to be the scariest. I really liked last season. I thought it was more than scary. It was really cool and like really neat to watch. But this season, that clown, I know if you watch it, what's going on with it, but you're scary. You scared me. The next question is, what is your favorite music? If you are following me on Google+, you know I share a lot of music videos just because I like them. Some people think it's because I'm making digs, but I'm not. My favorite singer of all time is Sarah Brightman. I love Sarah so much. I actually got the opportunity to meet Sarah, not this September that just passed, but last September. And she is a wonderful, gorgeous, lovely person. I met her for all of like 5 minutes maybe, and was with her for 5 minutes, but it was just such a huge impact on my life. The concert I went to, I was front row center, and she was just, everybody who was front row center was crying. It was just that gorgeous. And as a person, when you're with her and you meet her, you can just tell that she gives off this I don't know, essence, that you can just tell she's like, I want to say a kindred spirit, but maybe that's not for everybody, maybe it's just for me, but she is just perfect, in my eyes at least. A gorgeous singer and a gorgeous person. And when I met her, she made me feel so good because she complimented my dress. So that's a lovely dress, and you're lovely, you're beautiful, and she said such nice things, and it was the best day of my life, probably one of them. My son's like, I hate my mother. She's such a bitch. She said that was the best day of her life, but it was one of them. I'll tell you, it's right up there. My husband did good on that one. He did really good. That was amazing. But, however, saying that, I love all kinds of music, and including even the screaming kind. So, like Disturbed, that's one of my favorite bands, and not all of their music is screaming, but a lot of their music's like and honestly, for me to listen to that kind of music, it'll have to be one of those days where I'm in that kind of mood and I get in my car and I'm going to go to the school to pick up my son. I'm like, on my iPod, I'm not driving, on my iPod, I do it in the driver, and I'm like, oh, it's a Disturbed kind of day, and then I drive down the road and play that. But I also like classic rock, like, you know, the Eagles, which my mom's favorite band, and she raised me on that kind of music, and I like things from the 50s and the 60s. I love music in general, but Sarah she's just the best. I love her so much. The next question is, what is your favorite book? And I've read a lot of books. I read a lot of paranormal books, like non-fiction books. But my favorite book of all time is a book I read last year or the year before. It's called The Light Between Oceans. They're making the movie for it now, and I hope they don't bastardize it. But it was a book that impacted me so hard that I was crying like during the last 3 or so chapters. It was just amazing. It was a period book set back in the past after World War I. And it was about a couple who couldn't have a child, so they found an alternative way to have a child. And it was such a good book. And I recommend anybody who hasn't read it to read it before you see the movie, just in case they do bastardize it like they tend to do with books and movies. Other than that, I did like Gone with the Wind. I read that when I was in high school. Anne of Green Gables books, they're really good books. They were written for kids, but they were written for kids back in a time when kids weren't as sensitive and sheltered as they are now. So if you want to read them as an adult, and plus I don't think you can put, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Age restrictions on books, really. You start with the first book when Anne's really little and she gets adopted, and then you work your way up as she grows and gets married and has her own children, and it's a really pleasant experience, I find, to go through that with Anne, and I love Anne. The next question is, what one word best describes you? And I'm gonna have to go with silly, because no matter what I do in life, I always find some way to make it silly, even when I'm mad. Like, if I'm like in a, I don't want to say a rage, but if I go into a rage and I'm getting angry and I'm like, and I'm pissing and moaning about something, like someone didn't clean up after themselves in this house. I live with 2 men, so I go through that every day. And I'm like, why didn't you clean up that? They know a way to get me to stop, because they just have to make me go into a silly fit and make me laugh, because I am a silly person. I find a way to make everything silly. I think it's why I cross-stitch a lot of whimsical things, because I am a silly person. I am very childlike and whimsical and silly, and that's just how I am. And there was one last question, and it's, who inspired you to start YouTube videos? I started way back in 2011 on YouTube. I wanted to do makeup videos because that's the kind of videos I like to watch, and I still like to watch them, even though I think I found my own style of makeup and hair. My hair looks like crap today, but you can, it's a bun. In case you were worried that I cut it all off, I got pissed and couldn't wait for my hair appointment. I'm like, but no, it's a bun. I started watching hair and makeup videos on YouTube, and I decided I wanted to do makeup videos on YouTube, but then I decided everybody does those kinds of videos, so that's kind of like, you know, I don't know. Then my niece Jolene said you should do some paranormal videos and tell people about the things that we've experienced in life. Because my family, all of us pretty much have had some kind of weird paranormal experiences in our lives, particularly in my parents' house, and she suggested that I did that, so I did that. And then for cross-stitch videos, my husband is actually the one who suggested I show my cross-stitch videos on YouTube. He said, you should just show people what you've done, because you do really nice work, and I'm sure there's somebody out there who wants to see that, so I did that. And then I remember, I believe it was my really, really great friend, I'm so happy I met her on here, Maureen. She's the one who always asked me for updates on cross-stitch videos. Even when I stopped doing them, I did one and then I didn't do one for years. she just always wanted to see more, and I owe it to her and everybody else who always wants to see more. I really like doing these kinds of videos. So that's it for now. Like I said, I'm going to try really hard to film in the other room, do some kinds of videos or whatever, because I'm excited to be back now. I'm excited to make videos. I'm excited that you guys are happy to see me. I'm just excited all over. So I am going to go, and I hope everybody has a lovely Thanksgiving who is celebrating. I know we're not all celebrating, but I do hope you have a good day, even if you aren't celebrating. And go Niners on Thanksgiving. They are playing, and they're playing the Seahawks, and right? Why are you gonna play the Seahawks on Thanksgiving? They better win. And yes, have a good holiday, and I will try my best to see you guys again before Christmas, and I hope everybody's doing well, and happy stitching. Bye! I don't know, yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go now before I say too much. I don't know where I'm gonna go. My parents' house, blah. We did bury somebody in the backyard once. Why did I just tell you guys that? Yay! Something smells strange.